Okay guys, today we're going to talk about optimizing your sponge filters. So you'll probably notice a few things in the fish room. So we have some new custom racks. These are kind of set up kind of like your commercial racks. The bottom is a sump, each tower, and then you have a tank, and then a tank up there that y'all can't, that's not in y'all's view. And so each tower circulates itself. And so this tower is one, and then this tower is one. And so we're going to make several of these towers. As you know, we breed fish, and so we also sell them. We do have our website, so CGA Aquatics here in Roy City. We got a really good deal on a bunch of tanks, and so we now have close to 100 tanks. And so we're going to be setting up the racks and getting things going and making more space for our babies. We just had some fry hatch the other day, so we got a bunch of fry that we're raising out. But today we're talking about sponge filters, okay? So yeah, my racks have a pump system. That's really just so I can facilitate having one big heater in the bottom, put in one big UV light in the bottom, things like that. There's reasons why I do it. I still have sponge filters in all my tanks, right? And so I'm not doing the rack system for the biological, I'm doing it more for the mechanical and to be able to house all the equipment in one spot. So I still run sponge filters in all my tanks, and I always will. Excuse me, they're great for your biological filters. So we're going to go over both the small and the large. So anything above the small is how the large works. The small you have to do a little bit differently. And so when I say optimize is you have these naturally when you plug your airline into your sponge filter. A lot of people turn the air way up and it's just bubbling like crazy. Blah 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 blah. You know, A, it's loud. B, it creates a lot of water movement. The bubbles pop and create a lot of water. You get little spurts of water all over the place if the water level is full on the tank. It also could increase your evaporation rate, just things like that. But we want to move the water. We want the water to be moving, but we don't want all that. And so a lot of smaller bubbles is much more efficient on moving the water. And it just optimizes your sponge filters. Some of the companies out there that have sponge filters, they have different ways to create the micro bubbles, but your generic, off the street, Amazon, basic, whatever you want to call it, sponge filters are not going to. Yeah, they have a little air diffuser at the bottom, but it still creates big bubbles. So most hobbyists already own these. Okay, so instead of having to go out and buy these upgraded sponge filters and whatnot, you can optimize them. Okay, all you need is a pair of needle nose pliers. I happen to have the long ones. You probably get away with not having the long ones. That's just what I have. I have an automotive background, so I always have a lot of tools. And then you're going to need air stones. I'm sure you have air stones. Again, all this stuff we sell on our website. We try to get really good deals by buying in bulk, so you don't have to. And so my little soapbox there is, we buy these by the thousands, we buy sponge filters by the hundreds, and that way you guys don't have to pay to buy that many, right? The average hobbyist doesn't need 100 extra large sponge filters. And so, just hit us up. We're still in the early stages of getting everything up and going to sell online, but we are working through it. So, okay, so you're going to need your air stone. This one is already done, so this is one of our larger models. When we're done with the video, I will flip the camera around and show you how it looks versus what you're used to, the bubbling, okay? So if you just pull it apart, just take your foam off, right, your sponge. Then your normal sponge filter looks like this, okay? So what you do is you pull these apart, okay? So you pull these apart and you take all the innards out of here, okay? And then you take the original one, you leave it alone, okay? You see how that little circle tube goes down? It goes down into this one, right? they stack, okay? This one's empty. And the reason why, you pull all that stuff out, and I'll show you how to pull it out with the little one here in a minute. We're actually gonna do one, but you're gonna get your air stone. And you're gonna put the smallest little piece of airline on there, just enough to have something to stick to it, okay? Then you're gonna have this piece, you're gonna stick the airline on there, and now you've optimized it. So now you have super micro bubbles going up the tube. So A, it's not loud, B, you actually get better water movement, you guys. I was, playing around with this, and I put one where the water level was just above it, and instead of the big gurgling, you could actually see the water moving. I mean, it was really moving some water, so it really works well. So on the large ones, the medium ones, that's all you really gotta do. Now, weighted base, if you have the weighted base kind, that's what we sell, okay? Weighted base, pull this little bottom piece off. This is the air diffuser, or what they want to call as an air diffuser. I'll be the first one to tell you, I think they totally suck. There'll be a little nipple down there, and that's where the bottom piece connected of this. And so when this was running through, it came out, it connected down there, and that's how the air got down there. Okay, you're going, depending on the length of your air stone, if you buy your air stone from us, this is the size air stone we pretty much regularly sell. They're less than $1, guys. Like I said, we gave a really good deal. And we do sell onesies. So if you're doing a fish order or something, get a couple, basically shipping, just throw it in there, you don't have to pay for shipping. So we're gonna come in here, we're gonna clip that out of there. You're just gonna grab it, twist it, it's gonna pull off, and that's that. And that's just to make sure you don't have anything obstructing, because you're gonna see that air stone comes all the way to the end, and that's the purpose. You want the air as far down in that sponge filter as you can, so it's pulling the water the furthest. So that way you're getting the whole effect of the sponge filter, okay? Now we're gonna put this back on here. So you're just gonna click your weighted base back together. If you don't buy sponge filters with weighted base, I highly encourage you to. Most manufacturers have weighted bases now. If you don't, So the nice thing about the ones that we sell is that you can pull it off. So let's say you break one, or you break one of the parts of the sponge filter, the pieces are interchangeable. That's for most people's sponge filters, but just a little PSA there. Okay, so that's it, guys. You're gonna put your sponge back on. You're gonna put your bottom back on, and you're in business, okay? So that one obviously was already done. That's been running in my 75 gallon, and I'll show you all that in a minute. I got 2 of them. So this is your normal, typical, mini, nano sponge filter, okay? Pull the uplift tube off. We're gonna pull this sucker apart. You got your weighted base, got your sponge, got your single cylinder. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pull out all the innards. So you see how it looks now? So we're gonna come and you just get your needle nose pliers up there, click on it, twist. I've already pulled out one support. Click, twist. Click, twist. Click, twist. Click, twist. And the whole thing comes out. And now we are empty, okay? Now, I do know there are some sponge filter manufacturers out there where on the nano minis, whatever you want to call them, this piece is interconnected. Ours is not, and so you'll see that ours, the ones that we sell and have, it clicks in there, so this whole piece can come out. You see how it was that's what was connected at the bottom. So now one thing is you'll see there's a little tiny piece left. We want to get that little tiny piece out, and the only reason why is we want that completely hollow, because you don't want anything obstructing this air stone. Okay, one thing is, since you don't have a down tube, these are your options. Your options are to take some airline tubing and stick it through here and pull it through and attach your air stone, or your other option is to go get this piece you cut out, cut it off, and make a little clip in there. Honestly, guys, what I do, I just shove the airline through on mine, because mine, the way my racks are set up, the airline comes up out of the sponge filter and it clicks. This is typically the length I use. Comes out of the little tank, because these are for my fry tanks, and there's a line right there and it clicks right in. So I'm not running long lines. So I literally just take and bend one of the little top spots up here to make it a little bit bigger. And then you're gonna take and you're gonna push your airline through. And sometimes you don't get it on the first try. I thought I had pushed this over enough, but you can also pull this apart too. Okay. Now, we can pull the airline through, okay? You got your little barrel. Put your little barrel back on, like that. You can take your air stone, put your air stone on there, get the airline to the bottom of the air stone so you don't have to worry about it coming off, because you're not going to want to take this apart. And then you're going to pull it back down through. And you've got to get that air stone far enough in there where it's in there at the bottom, just like the other ones, okay? Now, don't forget to do your uplift tube. Again, my lines aren't long, so I don't have to worry about it. So your uplift tube, okay? Now, weighted base, okay? It's the same thing. That little tiny circle right there, where the air came down, you've got to take that out. And the reason you got to take that out is because it gets in the way of the air stone. The air stone needs just a little bit of clearance for that to click in there. Okay, so you'll notice that that is pinched out of there. Literally, just tweeze it, pull it, get it out. And that's it, guys. You're gonna take your air car, your sponge, you're gonna put it back together, and that's it. You've optimized this this sponge filter now. Okay, so again, there's no additional cost except for a air stone. Okay, so just I highly recommend you do it. I'm gonna grab you guys real quick and show you. I don't have any running without being optimized. I do not. And I should have done that. So, but y'all know what a sponge filter looks like, where it's bubbling really fast, right? I'm running a lot of air through my sponge, and so I'm gonna show y'all, okay? So bear with me. So you probably can see how that one has nice little micro bubbles. Okay. Maybe you can see this one. Sorry guys, so it's hard for me to. That's good. So see the little micro bubbles? See what a difference? And that is one of the nanos. Okay, guys. This is an empty tank at the top of one of my racks that'll have fry growing out in it. All of my tanks have those. Okay. So let's look at this one. Okay. And so you see the difference? See how this one right here, it really is moving a lot of air and water, but it's not causing a big bubble. And so that's how you that's how you optimize your air stones and your your sponge filters with an air stone, and that's it just does a really good job. So hope you got something out of that. Like and subscribe for me down below. We're always doing videos, and we're going to start giving away gift cards to our business, to our website, for those people that do subscribe. So like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.